Severe thunderstorms wreak havoc not only in southeast Ohio, but across the U.S. Delays in an Athens project may postpone your spring biking plans. And in sports, Bobcat fans gather for a unique opportunity to buy memorabilia. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Good evening, I'm Ben Schwartz. Thank you for joining us. Most of the region is still cleaning up after yesterday's storms. The National Weather Service in Charleston received 30 reports of severe weather yesterday, including multiple reports of trees and power lines down across Athens County. A tornado touched down in Shelby, causing damage to multiple homes and businesses, and wind gusts ranged from 111 to 135 miles an hour. As of now, there are still around 20 power outages in Athens according to AEP's outage map. But residents were not the only ones affected by the loss of power. According to Athens Public Works Director Robert Heddy, the city's water plant is currently running at half capacity as they wait for power lines to be restored. Most of Athens is expected to have power again by 11 tonight.
It certainly has been a crazy couple 24 hours here in Athens, going from warm temperatures and thunderstorms yesterday to really chilly conditions today. Right now, we're looking at 48 degrees for a temperature right now under partly cloudy skies, and that cold temperature is going to continue into the overnight hours tonight. And we even have a frost advisory going into effect tonight. I'll have more details about that in a few minutes. But right now, we have winds out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's going to be similar for most of the region. Looking at 52 for one spot in Jackson and Ripley, 49 in Ironton, 48 in Cambridge, all under partly cloudy skies. So it's going to be a pretty chilly night. Those temperatures are going to drop down into the 30s by tomorrow morning. And as we take a look, this is from the National Weather Service. These are the counties that are under the frost advisory that goes in effect from midnight tonight until 9 a.m. tomorrow. So if you have any type of sensitive vegetation, maybe some early spring flowers you planted, you might want to cover those up so they don't get damaged or killed in the frost. And you might want to give yourself a few extra minutes tomorrow to scrape off those windshields before you go off to your morning commute tomorrow. Ben?
Thank you, Blake. While the weather was nice outside in Athens Saturday, the Numbers Fest, a local music festival, still had a low turnout. Last year they had over 10,000 attendees, but this year it was half the amount. Also, Athens County Sheriff Rodney Smith says his office made no arrests at Numberfest this year. The Hocking-Adena Bikeway Extension project is taking longer than expected. Now changes could delay the completion date even more. After flooding damaged the bike path last spring, county commissioners are looking into ways to prevent flood damage from recurring. Allie Eldridge reports.
Plans of extending the Hocking-Adena Bikeway have been in the works since 2017, but have been delayed because of issues with the contractor going bankrupt. Now, additional changes could further delay construction until the Ohio Department of Transportation gives its approval. The Athens County Commission started exploring those changes after flooding damaged parts of the path last spring.
But now the construction's actually taking place. There's some design issues that we realized looking at the flooding this spring. So we wanted to see if we could elevate the path in some areas.
County Commissioner Lenny Eliason says what should have been a one-season construction job has turned into two, and now the waiting game continues while they wait on ODOT to approve the proposals.
The contractor being so delayed, it's a matter of whether ODOT will approve the changes. So we had a meeting with ODOT this past week, and we're waiting to hear back from them.
ODOT engineer Daniel McDonald told the Athens Messenger that changes could take months if the current environmental permit needs modified. County Planner Jesse Powers says the projected completion date is for the end of May, but grant requirements call for construction to end in July. The cost of elevating parts of the bike path is over $100,000.
The County Commission has yet to decide on the plan for protecting the bike path. The Athens parking garage renovation is moving forward. City Safety Service Director Andy Stone says the city should have enough revenue for the $630,000 project. It will pay for new lighting, signage, wayfinding, and stairwell updates. The construction should be completed by Halloween. A new list of priests with credible allegations of sexual abuse against them is out in the public. This time, the list comes from the Catholic Diocese of Owensboro, Kentucky. 15 priests are on the list. They're broken down into 3 categories: those ordained for the Diocese of Owensboro, priests from another diocese or religion, and allegations which occurred outside the diocese. The diocese says accusations are substantiated when there is probable cause to believe the claim is true. The bishop says Father Joseph Bradley, who was temporarily suspended last month after allegations were made against him, is not on the list.
You'll notice he is not included on this list because that matter is still considered under investigation. The review board continues to collect information, and we're trying to act as expeditious as we can.
The investigation into Father Joseph Bradley is the only active investigation at this time. Ohio says it is continuing efforts to recoup unpaid child support from gambling winners. The Department of Job and Family Services says around $10 million was brought in over the past 5 years. The state says more than 6,000 jackpots have been intercepted from non-custodial parents who are behind on child support. State lawmakers who want to overhaul Ohio's school funding system don't want it to be part of the budget debate. The lawmakers want to change how the state takes control of poor-performing districts. Some lawmakers propose shifting operational control of poor-performing districts to locally elected boards. Other lawmakers would leave such districts under state control, but prevent more so-called state takeovers through such commissions. Senator and Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders made a stop in Warren, Ohio. During the rally, he called out President Trump. He pointed out how tough he was on the federal shutdown and challenged him to be just as tough on companies.
Well, let's see how tough you are. Tell General Motors today, no more federal contracts.
Ohio is enhancing its job website to make employers' searches easier. The Ohio Department of Job and Family Services is adding new features to its job website, ohiomeansjobs.com. The features will help employers connect more effectively with the right workers. Coming up, Bobcat fans from all over traveled to Peden Stadium, and it wasn't for a football game. Plus, we'll continue coverage on the storm damage across the U.S. when Newswatch returns.
Is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
Before Ohio's spring practice finale on Saturday, hundreds of Bobcat fans got to Peden Stadium early in hopes of getting discounted Bobcat gear for the upcoming football season. Thomas Garverick has the story.
The Ohio Athletics Department held their own version of spring cleaning before Ohio's spring practice Saturday afternoon. Hundreds of Bobcat fans were eager to see what kind of items they could walk away with for a major discount.
Love these. Been to a couple of them, picked some nice stuff up. Tons of people are walking around here. I think it's really good.
The sale was a great way for fans like Tyler and alumni to make the trip to Athens.
You know, I'm a collector first and foremost of a lot of sports memorabilia and related items, and to finally get stuff from OU is really special to us and will be a good part to add to our collection.
Plus, you had parents of players looking for their sons' jerseys and some gear heading into the season.
It's super cool. We've looked forward to getting here hoping we could find number 17. It's super awesome. I couldn't believe we got here about 11:15, and the line for the apparel was way miles down the road. Super awesome. It gets you a head start, and you can go ahead and get your stuff so when the season starts, you have everything ready to go.
And of course, it wouldn't be the complete Athens experience without a Rufus sighting.
All the football stuff is already almost gone, sold out in the first 5 or 10 minutes.
He wasn't kidding. Everyone made sure to get their discounted Bobcat gear for the 2019 season. In Athens, Thomas Garvin, WOUB.
Ohio's first game of the year is August 31st against Rhode Island at Peden Stadium. Later in the show, we'll have a recap of Ohio's weekend full of games. Coming up on Newswatch, the measles outbreak is only getting worse, and it's not just in the United States. That story's still ahead.
And our weather roller coaster is not going to end anytime soon. We have more warm weather returning, along with some more thunderstorms. I'll have more details about that when Newswatch returns. But first, here's a look at stocks of local of interest.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse.
TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
Hundreds misplaced after a massive At least 7 people are dead and hundreds misplaced after a massive storm system swept through the southeast over the weekend. Tornadoes damaged homes and businesses in Texas and Alabama, and in Mississippi, a tornado destroyed the only volunteer fire department in the small community of Hamilton. And it wasn't just tornadoes. High winds, hail, and torrential downpours also wreaked havoc, covering an area that put almost 90 million people under a severe weather threat.
It's a very chilly day out there today, a lot different than what we're used to back in the last couple of days in the 70s. Right now, we're looking at only 48 degrees for a high temperature right now. It's going to be a chilly night ahead. Those temperatures are going to be dropping down into the 30s later tonight. And so bring out those winter coats again. You don't need them put away just yet. So if you're going out and about tonight, make sure you wear that jacket. You have west winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour, making it even cooler out there at the moment. Taking a look around the region, looking at 42 in Jackson and Ripley for warm spots, 48 up in Cambridge, and 48 in New Martinsville as well. All across the area, partly cloudy skies. So it's pretty outside. It's pretty chilly though. So if we take a look at precipcast, this is what we have going on right now. This is the rain. This is all the rain and storms that we saw yesterday moving off the area. We have a few scattered showers in the northeastern part of Ohio. That's going to be pushing out by tomorrow, and we're getting under this dome of high pressure here. That's going to give away some sunny skies. It's going to push a lot of those clouds out of here. And by tomorrow night, again, we have a little bit of rain showers in northern Ohio. I don't think it's going to be making its way down here. But that's going to be the precursor to Thursday night and Friday, where we have possibility of some more thunderstorms moving into the area then. So tonight in Athens, looking at 34 degrees for a low temperature. And we do have a frost advisory going into effect tonight. So at midnight tonight until 9 a.m. tomorrow, that's when that frost advisory is going to be going into effect. So if you have any type of spring-like flowers that you planted maybe a little bit early, make sure you cover those up. They can get killed very easily in this cold temperature if the temperature goes down below 32 especially. And if you give yourself a few extra minutes tomorrow to give yourself some time to scrape off your windshield, I'm sure you'll like that as well. So make sure you dress warmly tomorrow. Wind chill's going to be in the 20s tomorrow morning. So as we take a look at Alabama tonight, looking at 8 p.m. tonight, chilly evening tonight. It's going to cool down to 40 degrees by midnight. And 6 a.m. for those early birds tomorrow. Frosty morning, make sure you give yourself some extra time to scrape off those wind chills. Temperature is 34 degrees. As we take a look around the region, we have similar conditions tonight. 38 in Athens, 39 in Ripley, and 37 in Newark and Cambridge as well, all under mostly cloudy skies. So it's going to be a pretty cloudy night tonight. As we look at Alabama tomorrow, looking at 34 degrees for the bus stop forecast tomorrow for those kids. So make sure you dress them up in those coats, hats, and gloves again. It's a little bit of wintertime temperatures tomorrow morning. It is going to warm up to a nice 61 degrees for your mild lunch hour tomorrow, and 72 degrees by 4 p.m. tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful evening, pretty sunny skies. It's going to be a great night to take your kids out to the park after they get home from school, after you get home from work. Tomorrow in Athens, looking at 73 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, mostly sunny skies. Warm temperatures going to be around 5 p.m. tomorrow evening, so again, take your kids out to the park and go on a nice walk. It's going to be a very nice night to do that. Sunny and warm evening, winds out of the southeast of 5 to 10 miles per hour. Take a look for high temperatures around the region, 73 in Ripley, 75 in Ironton for a warm spot, all under partly sunny skies, so it's going to be a very nice evening tomorrow. We have sunshine for the next couple of days up until Thursday. Like I said, we do have some possibility of some thunderstorms on Friday. We will, of course, keep you updated on that as those get closer. And Saturday, dropping back down into the 50s, 56 for your Saturday, but warming up again by the start of your next week to 72 and sunny on your Monday.
The Notre Dame Cathedral towers seem to be safe while firefighters try to extinguish the fire. French President Emmanuel Macron is treating the fire as a national emergency, but he promises to rebuild the historic medieval building. France's civil security agency says all means except for water-dropping aircraft were deployed to tackle the blaze. The spire and the roof of the building collapsed as the fire ravaged the building. The cause of the fire is still unknown. The number of measles cases in the United States is approaching a record. In just 1 week, 90 new measles cases were reported in the U.S. And the epidemic is not limited to the United States. Omar Jimenez has more.
More than 500 measles cases reported in 2019. That's the second highest number for the United States in 25 years, according to the Centers for Disease Control. And we're only 4 months into the year. A large number of cases stemming from New York, where the local government is now getting involved.
We want to err on the side of freedom of movement, but we also have to err on the side of public health.
But it's not just the U.S. being affected. The World Health Organization reported there were more than 100,000 measles cases worldwide for the first 3 months of 2019. That's up nearly 300% from the same period last year. UNICEF and the WHO write, "We are in the middle of a global measles crisis." They go on to say, there is no debate to be had about the profound benefits of vaccines. In some places, it's a matter of accessibility. But in the U.S., there is a debate being had over issues like parent choice.
We never thought we would face a day where people would accuse our daughter of being unhealthy and dirty and diseased.
And government intervention.
It's a very slippery slope that we go down if we allow state governments, local governments, and federal governments to mandate what they inject into our children.
Measles was declared eliminated in the U.S. in the year 2000, and that won't change unless the disease is continuously transmitted for longer than 12 months. I'm Omar Jimenez reporting.
Full House actress Lori Loughlin is pleading not guilty in the college admissions scam. Prosecutors say Loughlin and her husband, fashion designer Massimo Giannulli, paid $500,000 to a fake charity. The alleged scam helped get their two daughters into USC as crew recruits, even though they did not row. The two also waived their right to appear in court for arraignment for a second indictment. The Justice Department expects to make the Mueller report public Thursday. A spokeswoman says the redacted report on the Russia investigation will be sent to Congress. Mueller officially concluded his investigation late last month. He submitted a nearly 400-page report to Attorney General William Barr. Barr then provided a 4-page letter to Congress detailing Mueller's conclusions.
Good evening, I'm Brandon Monty. The Ohio Bobcats softball team bounced back in a big way from a 4-game losing streak to earn a clean sweep over Akron this past weekend. And the Ohio Bobcat baseball team took 2 out of 3 from the Toledo Rockets as the Cats' offense was cooking, and they're now in the double digits for wins on the season. And stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
A box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse.
TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Welcome back, I'm Brandon Monty. The Ohio baseball team hosted Toledo Friday and Saturday at Bob Rent Stadium. The Bobcats took 2 out of 3 from the Rockets as Ohio hit the double-digit win mark. Game 1 saw an offensive explosion for the Bobcats as they put up their highest run total of the season, Ohio blew out the Rockets 16-5 and also got a solid pitching performance from Edward Cutt IV. He went 8 innings and didn't give up an earned run. Rudy Rote and Aaron Levy also homered for Ohio. Jack Liberator was lights out on the mound for Ohio in Game 2, going 7 2/3, allowing just 5 Toledo hitters to reach base. Liberator improved to 4-4, and Nathan Mallett went 2 for 3 for the second consecutive game. The Bobcats took Game 2 5-2. The Bobcats could not complete the sweep, however, as the Rockets won the series finale 12-8. There were 24 hits between the teams. Ohio now sits at 10-23 on the season, as their next matchup will be Tuesday on the road against Marshall. Ohio's next 5 games will be on the road, as they don't return to Bob Wren until April 26. The Ohio baseball team wasn't the only Bobcat squad to rule the diamond this past weekend, as Ohio softball traveled to Akron and swept the Zips. The Bobcats outscored the Zips 31-10 for the series and out-hit them 30-18. Ohio is now 28-16 and 9-6 in MAC play and snapped a 4-game losing skid with this sweep. In total, the Bobcats hit 9 home runs after failing to score more than 3 runs in any of their previous 4 contests. Their next matchup will be on Tuesday in Columbus, when they'll travel to face the Ohio State Buckeyes. They say football season is never over, and the Ohio Bobcats are no exception, as their spring season continued Saturday. In their final spring workout, the Bobcats played their third 60-play scrimmage, and the defense had 4 takeaways, a category they led the country in 2018. 2-time All-MAC quarterback Nathan Rourke saw limited action with just 10 plays. Overall, Frank Solich was impressed with his squad. Rounding out Ohio sports, the Bobcat volleyball team hosted Marshall as part of its spring schedule. Despite having 2 crucial players missing in Lizzie Stevens and Tia Jimerson, the Bobcats took down the Thundering Herd in 4 sets. Left-handed hitter Maggie Nadoma stepped up big time for the Bobcats, as the Southern Illinois transfer provided a spark plug for the Bobcat offense. Ohio's next matchup will be in Virginia, in Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm Brandon Monty, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Brendan. If you haven't finished filing your taxes, you better get to it. It's April 15th, the deadline to turn in your tax returns for 2018. The IRS says as many as 50 million taxpayers have yet to file. If you're unable to get everything in order before midnight tonight, the IRS recommends filing for an extension. It will prevent taxpayers from paying late penalties, but it won't provide more time to pay money owed. Now let's head over to Blake for a final look at weather.
It's been a crazy couple of days here in Athens. We went from springtime temperatures into the 70s constantly, a great break from the wintertime, and now we're back down into the 30s for tonight in Athens. So it's been a crazy couple of days. I'll break it down for you here in just a second. So right now, tonight low is 34 degrees. It's going to be a little windy, a little breezy out today, but with the temperatures this low, it's going to bring wind chills into the upper 20s tonight. So if you're going out and about, going for a walk, make sure you grab that winter coat going out there. It's going to be a pretty chilly night, especially tomorrow morning at the bus stop tomorrow morning. We do have a frost advisory going into effect tonight at midnight, and that will go into effect until 9 a.m. tomorrow. So if you have any type of sensitive vegetation, any flowers you may have planted, make sure you cover those up. They can get damaged fairly easily in these cold temperatures. And then give yourself a few extra minutes tomorrow if you're going to your morning commute. You might have some windows to scrape off in your car. So take a look tomorrow in Athens, looking at 73 degrees. It's going to warm up pretty nicely. So under sunny skies, it's going to be a pretty nice day tomorrow. Our high temperature for the day will be at 5 p.m. So it's going to be a sunny and warm day tomorrow. And look at this, we have sunshine for the next several days. We have the next possibility on Friday for some thunderstorms with 69 degrees and 80 degrees on Thursday. Don't want to miss about that. And then cooling down again for your weekend on 56 degrees and sunny again by your start of your work week next week. Ben?
Thank you, Blake. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Ben Schwartz. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.